I'm playing the clarinet.
Brilliant.
Today.
Okay, great. So moving on.
Yeah, you got that? I could go on.
No, that was dynamite.
No,
That was great. Thank you, Ben.
On Shaky Stick, another percussive marvellousness.
Oh, this is I Am Temperance Society, Chip Bailey, playing Mad Things.
Yeah, my God, that's an extraordinary instrument. It seems to have a horn on it.
This is a stump fiddle.
Oh, what for that?
A stump fiddle.
Did he used to be in the Goons?
What? Well, it's my chipstick.
Well, we look forward to that. Features in the song, does it, or do you just carry that with you like a crazy hobo?
I never leave the house without one, you know.
That's a very, very. That's a wonderful item. And carry on, Sammy, doing a brilliant job.
And finally, on keys and vocals.
I'm Duke Special, but my mother calls me other things, and I've been called other things apart from her as well, but I won't go there.
This is beautiful. Do you know what I mean? There's a kind of strange excitement in Sammy, and there's an aura.
You want to feel my heartbeat? I'm racing here, racing.
Rufus, feel her heartbeat.
Wait for the jugular, just to
No,
say.
go that.
Yeah.
Is it racing?
Like the clappers, like the clipstick.
Chipstick.
Not what it's called. Not what it's called.
Okay, great. So, well, that's gone brilliantly, Sammy. Well done. And I think everyone everyone that was competing against you to become our CJ now is just overwhelmed. So you're going to play a tune for us. Obviously, we're very looking forward to that. And what first up are you going to play?
This is called Our Love Goes Deeper Than This.
Fantastic. We look forward to it. Here we are, Duke Special. Come on. Absolutely fantastic, guys. Really just absolutely dynamite. The giggle stick, or whatever it was called, came into its own there. A lot of us weren't expecting that to feature as heavily as it did, but it did. It's got a horn on it, a bell, it's got some sort of like a sort of piece of tin, and it made a fantastic sound. All of you guys, extraordinary. I mean, just breathtaking. Really, I have to say, I'm being, a fan, though I am of your music, I know little about you. I'm sure Sammy could give me an entire biography. So how long have you been together, and what's the story? Can you fill me in quickly? A little brief history?
Yeah, well, I've been performing up and down.
Are you Irish?
I am indeed.
Oh, you see, I'm amazing at this with accents.
Yeah, just been performing for a number of years now, and kind of occasionally run into musicians that I really love playing with, and done a lot of solo shows. Temperance, Chip and myself have done a lot of shows together, and then Ben here has joined us, and there's tonight we're playing as a 5-piece, and so it kind of varies from gig to gig.
And so it's quite organic and sort of it moves around, and you just kind of, how does the music develop? Do you sit at home carefully crafting it, or do you let the kind of band and whoever you're playing with sort of allow that to dictate the music?
Well, I would
Pardon me,
write...
someone's just coming out of the lift, I think. Or just let them come out. It's probably Terry Wogan or someone. I don't know. So how does it work? I mean, as I say, I'm always intrigued to know, because I don't really understand the musical process, not being a musician myself. So, how do you, as I say, sit in your bedroom and work, or?
Yeah, I do. I write most of the stuff myself, or sometimes collaborate with other people, but I kind of record the songs to make them as interesting and as beautiful as possible. But then live, I love having that added dimension of being able to see the concert and the visual aspect of things, and
right.
And then we would interpret the songs live in a different way, perhaps, than are on the record.
Because Dylan, of course, always talks about how the fact that Bob Dylan always sees his music as being sort of unfinished, so that the studio version is just one particular take on that
right.
record. Now, of course, that can be deeply infuriating for fans who just want to hear the Blood on the Tracks version of a particular tune, and they go along, and now he's just mumbling away, and you can't even understand a word he's saying.
Yeah.
So, you see it as a kind of, it's like, is it sort of theatrical performance that you give?
Yeah. Yeah,
that's not really a question.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm very poor at this. I'm not a trained interviewer. I'm not going to lie to you. But as I say, because I'm not seeing one of your live shows, so what can one expect?
Well, for example, tonight, over the next 4 nights, I'm doing a different concert in a different part of London, and each night has a different theme, which brings out a different aspect to my music. So tonight, it's a vaudeville theme, so there's going to be contortionists and fan dancers and plate hat spinners and things like that. And as I say, there's 5 of us on stage, everything from timpani to bowed guitar and piano and stump fiddle and clarinets and everything.
That sounds extraordinary.
Tomorrow night I'm doing a solo show which will feature a bass drum with visuals on it, and song sheets for the audience for
they can sing along.
Yeah,
wow, that's extraordinary. And because I've always thought it must be quite tricky to find a plate spinner. I worry that it's one of those dying arts.
Well, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of contemporary crockery manipulators, I think.
That's their official term, right? Well, I know you're going to play another tune for us, but on my notes here, it doesn't tell me what it is. It's going to be a wonderful surprise.
Yeah, this is a cover. This is a cover of a song that I always loved from when I was wee, and kind of is my interpretation of it.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay.
For those of you that thought that was Rufus speaking, it wasn't. That was an old-style wind-up gramophone, and Duke Special doing his version of I Feel For You. A round of applause, surely, in the Steve Wright style. Magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Thank you so much. Now, I should say, for people who are not familiar with you, that you've got quite a unique look, visually. Rufus is very much a man of words. How would you describe Duke's look in words, using words?
That's quite a challenge. He's a beautiful, beautiful man.
Sure.
He's got what can only be described as gorgeous, luscious dreadlocks, a nice, tailored-looking, I call it a number 2 blues uniform he's wearing there.
Okay, a sort of military jacket.
I can't see the regimental insignia from here, but he's going to give me a walk. A nice little perk. Oh, he's wearing there's a kind of autumn look he's sporting there. Yes, lovely. He's throwing his cape over his shoulder, and he's got a little bit of eyeliner on, which is just catching the light. He looks gorgeous, Steve.
Now, I should say that it's very much a rock and roll look. It's a look, and I've always felt this way, being very tall, freakishly tall, some would say. I've never really developed a look, as I'm often being stared at anyway. You've got quite a rock and roll look, a look which was perfect for a musician, someone on stage. I'm always worried if you're down the laundrette, do you get a few looks from older ladies? Probably, oh, look at him in his wild ways, probably assuming you're a drug dealer or something.
Yeah, well, in Belfast it's always you, Bob Marley.
Oh, of course, of course. And I'm always intrigued to know whenever you have to go back and perhaps see relatives or in-laws. I imagine Gran's always a little bit disturbed. When are you going to get a sensible haircut and a proper job, Duke?
It can have that kind of feel. I had the recent horror of a really nice occasion, a lot of family visiting from America, and I made the mistake. They asked me, "What's it like, being on tour?" And I said, "Well, it's really weird coming home from tour, and you're used to going out on stage and getting a round of applause every night." And we were all getting our photograph taken with there's like 45 cousins and stuff. And they said, "Oh, come on, get in the photograph." And I was going, "No, it's okay." And they were going, "Oh, come on." And I said, "What is it? Do you want a round of applause?" At which point they all started applauding.
Brilliant.
And that was extremely.
It's humbling, isn't it?
It
brings you back
extremely,
to earth.
it was probably the most embarrassing moment ever.
That's very, very sweet. You can rely on the family to keep you grounded. I think that's very, very healthy. I remember when we. I don't want to mention it, but. No, come on, forget about it. But I went home for Christmas, and my grandmother had been given a photo of us accepting the Golden Globe Award. And as I walked in, I hadn't seen her for ages. As I walked in, she said, "There you are, never going to happen again." And I thought, do you know what? I think you're right, but a hello, Steve, would have been nice before that. But it's good. I think it's important that the family keeps you grounded. That's very, very lovely. So, Sammy, we normally a gang here get to choose a tune each week, but Sammy, being such a massive Duke fan, you have chosen the next tune. Is that right?
I did. I thought I'd be a bit naughty this week and ask if I could have a live song instead of just picking something else. And it was really hard to pick one of my favourites. One of my ultimate favourites, having a naughty word in. So I went for probably one of my ultimate favourites, which is Brixton Leaves. So
okay.
I'm probably going to cry during this. Don't worry about that.
Isn't that bad?
While running up a hill or through a church?
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, if you hear weeping, it'll be all this.
Oh, wind-up gramophone there, just causing trouble. We're forever in your debt, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Brixton Leaves.
Thank you.
Duke Special. Thank you, guys. And is it sold out, all your concerts, or can people still grab you and see you live?
I have no idea, but if people come and they can't get in, it'll look good if there's a big queue outside.
Excellent, perfect. And are you currently on tour, or is this just some specific London dates we're doing?
It's just a specific run of dates in London, and then we're actually going on tour with Crowded House.
Okay.
So we'll be playing in the capital again in the 9th and 11th of December.
Right, brilliant. And is there an album that you're currently...
Yeah, there's an album called Songs from the Deep Forest, and that's out at the minute.
Perfect. Thank you very much indeed. People can hunt that out if they've been charmed by Duke Special, as we have. Another round of applause, please, for Duke Special. Thank you very much, guys. We have to go to the news. Thank you so much. As the jingle before we played that track announced, it's the music that matters in 1973. It's Elton John and Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, and I'm not going to be apologetic about it. I've had my dealings with Elton in the past, as you know, and we've put our differences aside. And I think that's a cracking tune, and I think Elton has written some absolute blasts in the past, and I don't think there's anything wrong with playing it. And so there we are. I'm sure the message boards are ablaze now with people furious that we've once again sullied the good name of Six Music. It didn't have a good name. We have not sullied anything. Duke Special and everyone else seem to be wandering around in the corridor having lost something. Is it an earring? Or who knows, if they're rock and roll, a rap of Charlie. knowing
It's a
these
screw,
rock and roll
apparently.
bands. A screw has gone missing.
It's a clarinet screw.
A clarinet screw. Oh dear, so there we are. I'm just keeping you fully abreast of what's happening here at Six Music, and no secrets. So we were talking earlier about cons and times that you've been stitched up either through sheer gullibility or, as is often the case with me, because you're not expecting to be conned. And that, of course, is what the con man preys on. And I don't know if I've told you this story before, and this is a one to be very wary of. I was like living in Oval, down in South London, and Oval is not really a place, it's just a big street, really. And when I was down there, it was getting particularly grim. There's a lot of crack going round, and no, don't look at me like that, there was. And there was a body found in a bin a couple of roads from where I lived, which was particularly grim. And there was a shooting in the sort of chicken shop at the end of my road. Admittedly, the chicken was appalling. Someone did deserve a bullet in the face, but no, that's of course that's not the case. That's not the views we don't want to hear the views of the BBC. They're too busy conning themselves, of course. Oh, how brilliant. It's come all full circle. Anyway, so anyway, I walk out one morning in my slippers, just walking across, Yes, I've got some slippers, I'm not afraid of it, Sammy. And I was walking across to get some milk, and a fella come up to me. He had a French accent. I'm not very good at accents. And he came up to me, so maybe you translate into a French accent for me. He came up and said, excuse me.
Excuse me?
He said, I've been driving and I've run out of petrol.
Driving my car, I've run out of petrol.
Okay, and right, and what do you want me to do about it?
Is this you now? Do I have to do impression of you next, Steve?
I'm me.
All right.
You don't know the story, do you?
No.
No, okay. All right.
It's going to fall flat.
It was going to go so brilliantly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, he says to me, I run a restaurant and I've run out of petrol in my car and I'm never going to be able to get to the restaurant and so on, and can you lend me some cash? And I thought, this sounds a bit suspicious. So I said, well, I'm not going to lend you some cash for some petrol, but let's come and see the car. So he goes, fine. So we start walking up this big street that is Oval, and we're walking and walking and walking. And we're walking for like 55 minutes or something. And I'm in my slippers, of course, and it's a bit chilly out. And I said to him, where is the car? And he says, it's just a bit further up. Just a bit further ahead.
Oh, it's just a little bit further up on the left-hand side.
It's painting a wonderful picture, this.
Thanks.
And, I said, well, listen, I'm not sure I can be bothered to walk all the way to the car. Maybe we'll just go to the petrol station. I'll buy you a can of petrol. He went, no, I've been in the petrol station. They got no cans of petrol left. I thought, that sounds unlikely, as it is a petrol station. That's one of the key things you're going to order if you run a petrol station. But he assured me there was no petrol left. So we wandered back to my house, and I said to him, listen, this just sounds really suspicious. He says, of course it does. I'm so sorry. Every time I ask him a question, can't you phone your wife? She's in Paris. Can you not phone someone at the restaurant? There's no one there yet. I'm the one. I'm going there. I'm going to open it up. And he says to me, listen, if you help me out here, I will allow you and all your friends to have a free meal in the restaurant. Ding dong. I'm thinking, okay, this is now we're talking. He said, not only will I promise you that, but I will come back later and bring you, and I remember he said this, a bottle of pink champagne. I don't know why specifically pink champagne. I don't know what, maybe it was my robe that I was wearing.
Maybe he thought you were gay.
This is what I'm wondering, and I was, as I say, I was just obviously in the slippers, the sort of small thong, and my robe, and so I said to him, okay, fine, all right. So I gave him, and I went back into the house. The only money I had in the flat, 20 quid.
Oh, not another Stephen Merchant. Do I give 20 quid or nothing story?
£20. No, it's not many. There aren't many people who've got that many. Shall I give £20 or nothing stories? So I come back out, I give him. Bear in mind, this was in the early days of moving to London. I wasn't sort of rolling in the cash, and so I gave him the 20 quid. He went, "Thank you very much. Pink champagne coming your way, plus free meal in a restaurant." I thought, ding dong. And I went back in the house, quite pleased with myself, feeling I'd done a good deed. It's nice to feel like a good Samaritan. And I went back and I sat down, and my flatmate came and I said, just a good deed. Just gave a guy some money, his petrol that he'd run out. He went, what, was he a Frenchman? I went, yeah. He went, yeah. I gave him a £5 last week. I was too embarrassed. I didn't mention it to anyone. I said, I can't believe it if you told me. And apparently this is his scam. He goes round, he pretends